Fantastic. So please get your hands a clapping. Your voicing groupie, please welcome to stage Liam Mill.
Good afternoon. So this is my first time ever doing this. So if you don't find any of this funny, please pretend to laugh. I'm autistic. I won't know the difference. As an autistic person, there's an awful lot I struggle with, like social interaction, which is that I'm utterly shit at it. I can think of, a few weeks ago, my next door neighbour moved out, and we recently had a new set of next door neighbours come in, and I went out one afternoon, and the new neighbour comes out and he says, "Hello, nice to meet you." I said, "Nice to meet you." He said, "My name's Chris," and I just walked off. Didn't occur to me until later. Probably should have said, told him my name. And I'll give you another example. So, have any of you really struggled with texting?
Yes.
Because the problem I find with texting is that it's like sort of trying to figure out what the interaction you're having even is, because you can't decipher what someone's tone is whether or not you've said the right thing to them, because it's an automated reply and the person's right in front of you, so you can't read their facial expression, the way that they're talking to you. It's a complete nightmare. And I had a friend who, for the sake of this, we'll call Rose. And Rose was a very close friend of mine when we were at college together. And after we finished, I, wanted to, meet with her every now and then to be friends. And one day we went to this concert together. It was we were invited by the college, by the way, just before you get any ideas. It wasn't anything like that. And then afterwards, I text her again, just to see how you're doing. Do you want to meet up at any point? And I got no response. And because she tended to only reply when she was active on Instagram, I kept sort of looking for the right moment, like, okay, when's the exact right moment I can text her? And I tried this for months, and in hindsight, it was perhaps a bit creepier than I intended it to look. And, very, very recently, I stopped texting her eventually because she never replied, and I thought, okay, message received, and very recently I thought, okay, you know what, and it'd been about 6 months, I thought, I'll text her one last time, see how she's doing, and after that, I'll fully take it, and I'll delete her number from my phone, and we'll just call it quits. And for the first time in 14 months, she replies. And she says, and I just said, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?" She replies, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm doing well." She says, "Oh, she just started at this course for prop making." And I said, "Oh, well, that's very good, because you did props at the student film we were making with our college. That was your role. And so, do you want to catch up sometime?" And she replies to the first bit, not the second. So I'm like, okay, how am I meant to reply to that? So she acknowledges that, so she wants to talk to me. So did she just not read the whole thing? Do I ask her to meet up again, or is that weird? But what's weird about wanting to see a friend? But then also, what's weird about wanting to see a friend? But also, does that, so, if I'm insisting to meet up, that's like, the red flags on the dating site. It's not a dating site, it's just a friend. But then, but also the fact that I'm nowhere near this person to understand how this all works. And so, how am I meant to decipher this? This is texting, ladies and gentlemen. Where is? I want to know where Steve Jobs' grave is, so I can piss on it for what he has done to human interaction. To human interaction. And so that's autism, fellas. And in case you're wondering, this is me every fucking time I have any text conversation with anyone. Thank you.